think people have, and it's weird. I think, ironically, the expansion of the college football playoff will bring everybody back and over the course of the years because we'll have more of an NFL mindset. My mindset on football kind of changed when I started having to cover the NFL, not even just playing, but like covering it. The goal is, yes, you want to win the division. I mean, first goal is win the division. Then you want to win your conference because that gives you a playoff bye. But really the goal is to get to the playoffs. Because if you get to the playoffs, you know you have a chance to win the end-all prize, which is the Super Bowl. If you look at basketball, yes, the goal is if you win your conference, your regular season conference championship, you get an automatic bid. If you win the conference tournament, you get an automatic bid. Those are bragging rights. Those are things you put in the banner. But if you didn't win your conference, but you won the national championship, did you really lose? So, but I think everybody right now argues as if everybody has done something like win a national championship. Florida State's won 3. Michigan's won one unified one, and then they won a co-championship, if I remember correctly, and they're a blue blood. Nobody's won more national championships in
Just
the last.
Just to interrupt real quick, James. They've only won the one with Nebraska since 1948.
Right. So
yeah, one.
So yeah. So my point, but Michigan is it used to be a thing where going to a bowl game was like actually an honor, and now people just water it down, and you hear people who aren't like. Netflix just released a special, the Swamp Donkeys or something like that, with Urban Meyer and talking about Florida. It was a great time during that time period. I loved it. I hated losing, but they were a good football team. Urban made a statement. It's either like if you don't win here in Florida, if you don't win national championships, you're considered a failure. Before Urban got there, they won one national championship. And before that, they had never won an SEC championship until Spurrier got there in 1990. That's just not true. But now, because of conference and conference pride and things of that nature, people want to piggyback on it. But I think Florida State, will I be disappointed if we don't make the college football playoff? Yes, because I feel we have a good enough team to do it. But man, if we're going to the Orange Bowl or if we win 10 games again, like hell, that's still way stark difference, and we're still trending because I know there's going to be a whole new dynamic coming in 2024 season. And I think people got to take even, again, no troll to Miami yet. We'll get there. But they brag about rings that most of their fan base wasn't even alive to see, or we weren't even potty trained yet. I mean, they were in the late 80s. They were in, and then when I was a junior in high school, I believe. Like this is a long. I just celebrated my 22nd my 21st high school reunion. So I mean, it's been quite some time since Miami has won a natty. So like, we got to get out of this competition progression. We can't act like we don't see it. And I think that's one of the problems with college football is that we've been marketed to believe is national championship or bust. And there's only one person that can do that. I'll take going to Miami, all expenses paid, and whooping up on some booty down there and down at the Orange Bowl as well.
Yeah, no doubt. A New York Six Bowl it may not be the honor it used to be, but it's still a big deal. Great for recruiting and everything else, and a great way to vault into recruiting and into that next year. And like you said, adding the 12-team playoff, it's going to really add some more meaning back to those New Year's Six games. It'll be, the first round of the playoff and a couple other games depending on how they lay it out. So I'm really excited to see that start. If we could make the last 4-team playoff, man, that sure would be a heck of a statement. And, back to what you were saying about rivals and, people acting like they've got championships and everything else. It's really funny, because even the 4 years that we were down, it's not like our rivals were out running things, winning titles themselves. It was pretty much Miami and Florida State were all down in various degrees, pretty much. Florida had a year or two with Dan Mullen, and then that didn't work out. And kind of everybody's got new coaches. It just so happens Mike Norvell is in year 4, and the other guys are heading into year 2 with their hands full. Mike Norvell laid a structure down. He had a plan from the time he got here, and he's in year 4. It's time to put up or shut up. He's got, you know, his guys 3 deep at every position, just about across the depth chart. He's got 8 to 10 offensive linemen he's ready to roll with, and let's kick it off. I'm just ready.
Well, keep in mind that Florida State was the last team to win the BCS National Championship, the last one that was available. Florida State won it. Maybe Florida State wins the last 4-team playoff national title. The thing is, I think when I talk about Florida State being a potential contender for the national title, people just don't see it. They're like, y'all just had a 10-win season, calm down. I understand that to an effect, but I'm looking at what team's been built. That's why James is saying would he be disappointed if Florida State didn't end up in the playoffs? Yeah, because of the talent that's on this team. It's not it's not stretch. It's not a huge stretch to say that Florida State can win the ACC and be a contender, because we have to beat Clemson. That's the team that we've got to take care of. For your strength of schedule to be strong enough for you to lose a game somewhere, you need to beat LSU or Clemson. But I think if you lose to one of them, if you lose to LSU but then beat Clemson and then beat Clemson again in the ACC championship and you're 11-1, you're probably a shoe-in for the playoffs, is the way I see it. But you want your strength of schedule to be something of matter, and I think that's why it's important for Florida State to run the table in September and then let the other games come to us as they come. But I don't think it's as far stretched as people want to make it. I think it's more people don't want to see that. They don't want to see Florida State back in the realm of national contender, and I get it, especially when their teams didn't do it while we were down. So I understand it. But whether you like it or not, Florida State's doing something right, because their new coach found a way to win 10 ball games last year, and they're shooting for stars this year. And you don't have to believe in it. You don't have to be a part of it, but it doesn't stop us from going after what we're going after.